In the last video, you saw how to query the database to get data from the newly created survey table. Now, if you remember, or if you can refer to the source code from the last video, then you will see we created a get survey data method in which we passed an argument SQLite database. Now, in order to perform any operation on the database, be it query, insert, update, you need a reference to the database, right? And in order to get, once you have that reference, then you can get the SQLite database object and you can pass, rather call this method with this parameter. So how do you get a reference to the database to perform all these operations? Well, you have two options. You have a get readable database and you have a get writable database method. Okay, and how it works, let me show you. So I come to my activity class and I plan to call this this method that I've created in the DB helper class, get survey data, from my activity class to fetch the data here. Okay, now what I do is, first of all, I create a new instance of the DB helper class. Okay, and using the constructor we have defined, and next step is I try to get this parameter SQLite database, which you saw, which is being passed in this method. So this can we can get this using the get readable database method or get writable data. So get readable or get writable. Now, what's the difference? Why you need to choose one over the other? Thing is that it's recommended that you use writable when you want to write to the database. But what happens is with readable, if for example you are not able to write to the database, say because of some lock or some permission issue, then readable will get you the database reference to read from the database. So that's why it's normally preferred to use the get readable database, especially when you are just reading data. Like in our case, we are just querying the database, so we can get a reference to the database using get readable. And once you have that, then you can use this object to call the method. Okay, so I just want to give you a quick overview of these two methods and why they are used. I hope you get an idea. So refer to the code in the GitHub and go ahead and play around with it. Okay.